Another Revoltech KO from AliExpress is here, but is it any good? Let's find out. Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna take a look at amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Arkham Knight knockoff from AliExpress. This is yet another Revoltech KO that a lot of you guys wanted me to get and review, so I finally decided to do it. This is Arkham Knight that comes with parts to convert him into the Red Hood, so you practically get two figures in one. We'll see everything that is included in this set, but first a quick look at the packaging. It's a standard older type of Revoltech packaging that still has a window in front, but as you can see, the design is stripped down to a bare minimum. It's all black with a simple promo shot of the figure and no logos, no writing other than the number 24 and Max down here. And that Max is what actually made me to finally get this KO. All Max KOs turn out to be fantastic. I've reviewed few of them in the past, so I'm excited to see if this one will have the same quality. Side of the box shows a very small and barely visible promo shot of the figure. Back of the box shows more promo shots of both characters and the included accessories. Other side shows the figure underneath these stickers. Nothing on the top or on the bottom. So now, let's open it up and let's take a look at this guy. Here is our Arkham Knight out of the box, and I'm pleased to say that based on my first impressions, this figure looks and feels fantastic. There are no loose joints and there's no tight joints either. The movement is nice and smooth, just like it should be on these figures. But I'm always surprised when we get that on a KO. Taking a look at the full body, it's your standard Revoltech body type with all the usual cuts in the sculpt. So the proportions and the silhouette are what you usually expect in this line. Taking a closer look at the details and starting with the head, this looks really good. The eyes are nicely painted. We have all these sculpted lines and technical details, and the paint is shiny and reflective. The only issue that I see here is this curved line that I don't think should be there. It looks like someone scratched the figure. It's not as noticeable from a distance, but it is there. Shoulder pads are connected to the back of the arms and they are on a swivel. Arms are covered with armored parts and pieces, and some parts are also metallic and reflective. Here is a look at his fisted hands, and they also look good. A closer look at the torso, and here we have some more armor panels creating layers on top of each other. The belt and the crotch are partially separated but connected here in the back. These two lower parts are made out of a rubbery material, so they do flex and they do move out of the way when you're moving the legs. Dark gray pants have this red and white pattern on them. We have more armored parts on the knees and shins, and the sculpt is beautiful. Here is a quick look at his boots, and here is how the back of the figure looks. There are all of these beautifully sculpted details, and we have a peg hole on his back for a stand to plug in. Let's now take a look at his accessories. First, he comes with 4 pairs of hands. A pair of fisted hands are already on the figure, trigger finger hands for holding the guns, even though this version doesn't come with guns. We get a pair of dynamic open hands and a pair of pointing hands, but these two are sculpted in a different gesture. This one points 1 finger and this one points 2 fingers. For weapons, he comes with a pair of knives with curved blades, and the paint here looks fantastic. The blades are painted lighter silver and the silver is nice, shiny and reflective, as you can see. The handle also looks nice. It's darker gray. We get 2 of these. He also comes with a pair of swords with red blades. They look nice, futuristic, and the sculpt is nice, and even the red blades are shiny and reflective, which is nice to see. Then he comes with parts and pieces to transform him into the Red Hood. Here is the alternate head sculpt, and the sculpt looks beautiful. And we have these vents. Then we get these 2 alternate chest pieces. Here is how the other side of the chest pieces looks like. Then we get a pair of alternate knee pads, because these are red while the ones on the figure are blue. Then we get a pair of alternate shoulder pads, and these again have red markings on them, and on the inside you can see that they tell you which one is left and which one is right. He also comes with a pair of alternate upper arm pieces, and these again have red markings on them. And finally you get these 2 small red pieces that you need to connect on the gauntlets. These blue pieces should be replaced with these ones. And of course I shouldn't forget to mention that he comes with a display stand stand. It's a translucent stand that you need to assemble yourself, and what's interesting, they also give you an extra Revoltech joint. Let's now convert him into the red hood and let's see how will that look. And here he is converted into the red hood. Now, changing out the parts and pieces was not too difficult. It wasn't that complicated, but what I did had to do is heat up each and every piece that I had to take off and put on to this body. The plastic is really stiff, and while that doesn't affect the movement of this figure, it does make it slightly harder to remove all of those parts and pieces. So, as I always say, before you do anything that would damage the figure, my suggestion is that you always heat up the plastic with a hair dryer, and then it will be much easier for you to remove and switch out all of these parts. What I had to do is obviously remove the chest piece, switch the upper arms, shoulder pieces, this piece here, and the knee pads. That's all that you need to do. And we can try to put on him this third chest piece just to see how would that look. And let me show you that the chest piece can be easily removed. As you can see, a little bit of wiggling and that comes off, and then we align this piece like this, push it in, and now this is what we have. So this is our third look for this figure. Let's now take a look at his articulation. The head and the neck give you some nice range of movement, although this collar piece does hinder it a little bit. It's a softer plastic, so it does go out of the way, but it does hinder the movement a little bit. You still get a great range. So he can tilt the head side to side, rotate 360. He can look down this much, up this much. We don't have that usual Revoltech butterfly joint, like a cut that we usually have on their figures here. So the butterfly joint movement will be strictly in the shoulder ball joint. So that is where you get your forwards and back movement. Arms can rotate 360. They go out all the way, and there is a swivel. Shoulder pieces also swivel. We have a bicep swivel, a swivel in the elbow. Elbow bends this much. We have a swivel in the wrists, and the wrists move in any direction. We have two cuts in the torso, and together they give you some nice range of movement. So this is where you get your side to side rotation and nice side to side tilt. He crunches forward all the way, goes back this far, legs can spread all the way, he can kick forward and back. There is a tie cut, double jointed knees, boot cut with a little bit of swivel, swivel in the ankles, feet move forward this much, back all the way. We have a toe joint and a generous ankle pivot. So as always with these Revoltech figures, KOs or originals, the articulation is fantastic. Let's now compare this guy to some other figures. Here he is with few other Revoltech knockoffs from AliExpress. On the left we have Moon Knight, and on the right we have the City Toys knockoff of Agent Venom. Then here is how he scales with a knockoff of Revoltech 2.0 Deadpool and Winter Soldier. And as you can see, this guy towers over both of these guys. Here is how he scales with the original SH Figuarts Dark Knight Batman and original Mafex Dark Knight Joker. Here is how he scales with the original Mafex Dark Knight Returns Batman and Superman. And finally, here is how he scales with the original Mafex The Batman and original Sentinel Peter B. Parker. So there you guys go. That was my review of amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Arkham Knight / Red Hood KO from AliExpress. I'm glad that I've decided to get this figure because it ended up being another great Max copy. I don't know who these guys are, but they are doing some great work on their KOs, and I'm happy to say that this one is another win. It's a strong recommendation on my part. If you don't have the original and you want to have this figure in your collection, get this KO. You won't be disappointed. It looks great, articulation is fantastic, and you get all the extra accessories to turn him into the Red Hood. That is why I've seen people buying two of these just so that they can have both figures on their display. If you are looking to get this KO, I will leave a link to where I got it down in the video description so you can use that. But these were all just my thoughts, and now I would love to hear yours. What do you guys think about this KO? Do you have it or not? Do you plan on getting it? Do you have the original? And if you do, please tell us how does this copy compares to the real thing. Let me know all of that down in the comments. As always, a huge shout out goes to my Patreon supporters for helping me to keep making these videos. If anyone else can join and help, please do so, because everything earned goes into the channel's content. Patreon link is also in the description. Super thanks option is available for those who want to support the channel in that way. A lot of you guys want me to review all kinds of figures figures, especially knockoffs, so these are the ways you can help me to make that happen. Of course, you are still helping simply by watching and sharing my videos, so thank you all for watching, thank you for being here with me, and I'll see ya in the next video.